Hey YouTube, it's Langsta here, and this week we're going to be making the fluffy chiffon cake. Before we get started, as usual, if you haven't already, please follow me on Twitter at langstaL and have a look at my Patreon page on the top right corner. For those of you who feel generous, you can decide to donate an amount of your liking to me every month, which will help me with the costs for running this channel and for buying the ingredients for all the dishes I'm making. So far I'm up to $28 per month. Thank you so much, especially for Cuiwi. Am I pronouncing that correctly? C-U-I-W-I. He is, or she is, extremely generous and is donating $15 per month. Thank you so much. I've also started a new trend where I will post the ingredients for the dish I'm going to be making on Patreon the week before I make it, and those of you who guess it correctly will get a mention, an honourable mention, in the next video. So from now on I'm not going to tell you which dish I make on the video, and you'll have to either follow me on Twitter or go on Patreon to have a preview. And now for the ingredients. As you can see, I'm using a potato, but in the real recipe it is a laden sweet potato, or a white-fleshed sweet potato in real life. The only reason I didn't use a sweet potato is because it wasn't sold in the shops when I went. Okay, now let's get to the cooking. First, measure out the potato, boil it until it's soft, mash it up, and then mix it in with some milk. If you do have the white-fleshed sweet potato, it will be the same. Next, crack the 2 eggs and split out the egg yolk from the egg white. Make sure that the egg yolk does not split and there is no trace of the egg yolk in the egg white. This is crucial for later. After doing that, measure out the sugar in 2 batches, one for the egg whites and one for the egg yolk. Measure out the 25 grams for the egg whites and the 10 grams for the egg yolk. Also measure out the flour, After doing that, measure out the milk into a cup, put in the olive oil and the vanilla extract and mix that up. Next, pour in the egg whites into a mixing bowl. Whisk it until it becomes bubbly. Pour in the sugar in 3 batches and continue whisking each time. And continue doing so until it forms hard peaks. Make sure you do not hit the side of the mixing bowl with the whisk to get rid of the excess meringue on the whisk, because this may cause the bubbles to pop. Next, whisk the egg yolk in a clean mixing bowl and add in the sugar in 2 batches. Continue whisking until the mixture becomes creamy yellow. Next, add in the milk/oil mixture. Next, put the flour through a sieve 3 times to make it extra fine. And then pour it into the egg/oil/milk mixture. Whisk that gently with your hand instead of a machine until it's all mixed in. When that is complete, add in the meringue bit by bit into the mixture and fold it in carefully. Ensure you do not tap or hit the bowl in any way to avoid the bubbles from bursting. Whilst this folding has happened, has anyone by any chance watched Boruto? I've seen the first 2 episodes now, and I think it's actually really good. It has a really nice nostalgic feel to it because it's going back to the younger generations, and also I like the fact that it's not focusing too much on the older generations, i.e. Naruto and Shikamaru. Oh, and also the soundtrack sounds amazing. The Shippuden soundtrack was a real big letdown for me, and this one has really brought it back up again. Once you have folded in all of the meringue mixture, add in the milk/potato mixture and fold that in as well. Finally, carefully, and I mean very, very carefully, pour the mixture into the baking tin of your choice, then tap it twice on the counter and put it into the oven. Make sure the oven is preheated at about 160 degrees Celsius and bake for about 20 minutes. Very, very lastly, whip the cream until it becomes whipped cream.
Okay, so we're going to be trying out the fluffy chiffon cake, but who is we? I have a special guest with me today.
Hi!
Right, so shall we try?
Yes.
This looks absolutely amazing, as usual. She did the beautiful chocolate decoration.
I did my best.
I can't even eat chocolate, so I've actually got a cup of cold water here on standby to dilute it all. Should be good enough because it's not a lot, right?
Should be alright.
It's not a lot. And I am getting better. My allergy is getting a lot better than before. So this thing here is whipped cream.
Just whipped cream?
Just whipped cream. And a really nice and oh my.
Do we have
gosh.
to eat it with the cake?
You can eat it however you want, but I think just cream on this by itself would be quite bland.
I'll try it.
Here we go. Oh, that cake is so bouncy.
Really fluffy.
Oh my gosh.
It's like one of those breads that you can buy from the Philippines, actually.
Oh.
Really soft and fluffy.
It's so light and delicate. Yep, so as she mentioned just now, she is from the Philippines.
Beautiful country, the Philippines.
Yes.
Yes.
That is amazing.
This basil, believe it or not, was actually just behind us. He started growing his very own basil over there.
And it's probably the only plant I've grown which has not died on me.
The basil made it actually really fresh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Fresh, tasty.
So before, I used to think that basil was only used for main meals, pizza for example, but really, that's really uniquely nice. And the cream, oh, especially with Yeah?
Chiffon cake's really good.
Yeah. I've never had it before actually, this is my first time. And it is so incredibly light and airy. So, the Final Fantasy ingredients list says that there is potato in here. Normally I wouldn't have expected potato to be in a cake at all, but I can't actually taste it.
I'm quite surprised I can't actually taste it. And I was actually a bit skeptical with the potato because I've never actually heard or seen someone make cake using potato.
So how does this one compare to the ones you have in stores then?
Well, if I were to compare the ones I've eaten from the stores and your cooking, I'd choose this one.
Really?
That's good.
Well, I've never actually had anything to compare with, but that is amazing. That chiffon cake is so good.
Really amazing, guys. You should try it.
And it's actually really simple as well.
Yeah.
There was no butter in the recipe. So when we made it, the case for it was pretty much grease-free. There was almost no grease in it at all. The only grease was from that little bit of olive oil which we used.
Yeah.
And olive oil is quite healthy as well, so.
That's actually quite true. And also, I noticed that the preparation time takes a lot longer than the actual baking time.
very true. It took us about, what was it, about 20 minutes?
20 minutes for the baking time. And I think it was around half an hour for the actual preparation.
Yeah, because we had to split out the egg yolk and the egg white, and also the folding and everything. Like, compared to the rest of the desserts which I made before, like the Cooperberry cheesecake or the memory lane pastry, I think the Cooperberry cheesecake is probably still my favourite one. Then memory lane pastry, and then this one. So the time when I made the memory lane pastry, Vivi was actually here. However, she was too shy to appear on screen, so she ate her memory lane pastry behind the camera. So now that you've tried 2 of the desserts I made, she didn't try the Cooperberry cheesecake, by the way. Which one do you think is better? This one, the fluffy chiffon cake, or the memory lane pastry?
I would say the memory lane pastry.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Oh, how
I
come?
really enjoyed it because that one, I thought it would be really sweet. When we were preparing the whole dish, I thought the dish, it would turn out really sweet for me. And for me, I don't really like sweet things. Like, I can handle me sweet, but not to an extent. So when I tasted it, it was actually really light. So I was really surprised and actually really enjoyed it.
I think the berries in that one made it. The berries were beautiful. They were so fruity, right?
Yeah.
Like, especially the strawberry. So that's the end of episode 17 of Cooking Final Fantasy 15 Foods. Yay! Next week, I'm not sure what I'm going to be making yet, but it will be one of the highly voted ones which you guys chose on the comments in each of my videos. I've been adding up the likes on each of these comments, and the next most commented dish will be made next week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yes, I actually
And I hope you as the viewer enjoyed watching us eat. I hope you guys enjoyed watching as well, and please do comment below and let us know what you think. And also, if you want to try it yourself, please do, and let us know how it is as well. And if you haven't already, please do like the video to show me your support, and do subscribe if you haven't already, and show your friends. So until next week, have a great week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.